guys, it's 21 Maxwell here and welcome to another WWE Updates video. Today we have the Raw pay-per-view for July, which we have given them Battleground. So this will be the last Raw pay-per-view before SummerSlam. The next video will be the Bash, which is going to be a SmackDown exclusive. So all the All-Stars are out for Raw tonight. This is a 23 segment show. Hopefully we'll build up a couple of matches that are going to be for SummerSlam. We'll probably reveal at the end of the video the 4 main Raw matches going forward for that pay-per-view, as of course we only do pay-per-views on this series. So hopefully we have a good show here. Hope you guys enjoy it. We're in Hawaii. We're in the Aloha Stadium, not the one from Pokemon Sun and Moon. But hopefully we have a good show here. And as always, I'll explain a few storylines as we progress. So thanks as always for watching, and I hope you enjoy the show. So we start off with our opening hype package, documenting the 3 biggest feuds on the show at the moment. The power struggle between the general manager, one of the general managers, Daniel Bryan, and the man putting a fork in everything on his side, The Miz. We've got obviously the big feud between the 2 main guys in WWE, Roman Reigns and John Cena, and the challenger Seth Rollins, who is determined to take the championship off the monster Braun Strowman. So a B78, not the greatest start to the show, but it got the show off to a strong start. It got the crowd hotter, and 3 storylines advanced and gained heat with this segment. I'm thinking a massive negative yet was limited segment and the 3 stories having low storyline heat, which is strange because each storyline does seem to get a good amount of time attached to it, although admittedly the last Draw just had some good matches and didn't really have much to do with storylines, which I do think has hampered the heat of the storylines. But speaking of storylines, after losing their last match to Mojo Bojo for the Tag Team Championships, Big Cass decided that was enough. Little Enzo was slowing him down. Big Cass turned on Enzo and laid waste to his former tag team partner. Yep, I've split up Enzo and Big Cass. B80, and Enzo just comes out, starting the show. He's the babyface, and he's calling Big Cass SAWFT soft. So good start to the show. It gets the crowd a little bit hotter, and it continues their storyline. And the matchup itself done okay. It was a decent matchup that had Big Cass defeating Enzo in 10 minutes and 8 with the East River Crossing. A solid B80 here. I think we can tell Big Cass is the better worker. He has 81 performance to Enzo's 69. But storyline continues. We'll probably drag this out to SummerSlam. Big Cass improves technical skills. And yeah, a few negatives there, just both men's inconsistency levels. After the matchup, Enzo just basically gets up and Big Cass decides, after what he said, he's just going to beat this little punk down, kicks his ass, and it's a solid A90 rating here. The storyline advances, it gains heat, and Big Cass looks like a dominant monster. No negatives as well, which is good, so that storyline will continue. Next up, we had just a special tag team match, and it was about that had decent wrestling, but didn't have much heat, and it saw the team of Wade Barrett and Drew Galloway, the Britannic Greatness, defeat the team of Austin Aries and Rhett Titus in 11:25 when Drew Galloway defeated Austin Aries with a Future Shock DDT. In terms of in-ring work and overness, Wade Barrett was head and shoulders above everyone else. The plan is here, eventually Austin Aries will go to SmackDown for the Cruiserweight division, but at the moment he's in a filler tag team. But a B-74 is okay. Drew's not suited to his gimmick. Rhett Titus with a 58 compared to Austin Aries' 65. 60 for Drew Galloway and a 75 for the returning Wade Barrett. Drew Galloway improves flying skills, Wade Barrett in Rumble, and Austin Aries in performance skills. Overall, a lot of negatives, a lot of positives, a few negatives there, poor momentum and poor gimmicks. But overall, it's a mid-card tag teams. I'm quite happy with that. Next up, we had just another showcase matchup, this time getting over the man on the rise in WWE Raw, which is Tetsuya Naito. He defeats Daichi Hashimoto after Hashimoto's tag team partner, Junior Fujita, I think it is. He was on a freelance contract, so he is left. So we'll be putting Hashimoto probably into an enhancement role position at the moment before looking to trade him to SmackDown, again for the Cruiserweight division. But good matchup here. Naito wins in 12:26 with a flying splash. A very good B81. Hashimoto with 64 performance to Naito's 79 as we look to push him on. And negatives here, Naito for being fatigued due to his schedule. And after the matchup, Naito then basically decides to beat down Hashimoto, and out come his colleagues in this evil stable. We couldn't get Bushi, but we have the King of Darkness Evil, and joining them is Tomako Homna. Why not? Three Japanese guys, they are going to make an alliance here. They are going to destroy and take over Raw in some sort of capacity. So a C-58 because of not great overness here, and Naito came across as good. A few negatives, but overall, pretty happy with that. Next up, we had a United States Championship match, and it was a bout that had some good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, and it was the Money in the Bank briefcase holder, the US champion Baron Corbin, defeating Roderick Strong in 10:40 by pinfall while using underhanded tactics. The Lone Wolf makes the sixth defence of the United States Championship. A B82, Roderick with 64 to Baron's 94. Just a case of making Baron Corbin look as strong as possible, and there will be a stage where he probably will lose the US Championship, but not at the moment. Baron Corbin improves flying skills, and this was just a little negative there for being capped for short match length because it was 10 minutes, so good to see a good performance by both of these men. Next up, Baron Corbin then just says, Braun Strowman, you might be champion, but I'm Mr. Money in the Bank, and I'm going to cash this in on you whenever I feel like it. So an A90 promo from Baron, and this again just hyping up how dominant he is, the fact he's the Money in the Bank briefcase holder. Is he teasing in a cash-in tonight to become a double champion? Next up, we've got more tag team action, and it's again putting over two guys who have recently returned to the show. It was about that had decent wrestling, didn't have much heat. It was the team of the man they call Cage and Cody Rhodes defeating Mark Henry and Xavier Woods 9:21 when Brian Cage defeated Mark Henry with a flying elbow drop. B-72 because there's no real storyline here, it was just putting over two returning athletes. Brian Cage was off his game, Xavier Woods with 59, Mark Henry with 63, a 70 for Cody Rhodes, and a 66 for Brian Cage. No skill improvements, but good win for the heels here, and holding back awful gentlemen were, which will put a little damper on the rating as well. But these are two gentlemen we're pushing forward in the future. Mark Henry's kind of putting people over. Xavier Woods, I'm really unsure what to do with him, so he'll be someone, keep an eye out, and hopefully we'll have something for him in the latter part of 2018. Next up, we've got a promo with the tag team champions, our beloved tag team champions, Mojo Bojo, and a solid B+88 promo from them. Bo Dallas is just getting better and better as a babyface, as a heel, and with his promos as well, his microphone skills, because John Cena is his mentor. Good mentor to have, but Mojo really enjoyed going off script. And I say great performance from this tag team. I can't go over how well they've went, and they truly deserve being tag team champions. They defended the belts against American Alpha, and it was a decent matchup that saw Mojo Bojo defeat American Alpha again in 13:46 when Mojo Rawley defeated Chad Gable by pinfall. They make the third defence of the Tag Team Championships, a B82, a very good performance from both teams. Gable and Jordan both with a 74, a 72 for Mojo. Bo Dallas with an 82 performance. I hate to say it, guys, but I do feel Bo Dallas will probably be WWE Champion by about 2020. If we keep playing, I think it's very possible. And the plan is to keep playing, so I would expect to see that. Bo and Chad Gable both improving Rumble skills. Mojo Rawley improving in technical. The only negative there was the length of the match. If it was a little bit longer, we could have had a better rating. And after the matchup, we have a case where Chad Gable and Jason Jordan have a heated confrontation, but they do not come to blows. So the plan is that we are going to turn one of them heel. I'll just confirm it will be Jason Jordan, but basically that'll happen in the build-up from now to SummerSlam, and these will be in a matchup, probably involving against each other, or maybe in a multi-man match in opposing sides. at the pay-per-view. So C plus 70 there. The implosion of American Alpha is going to happen, but I want to have two good runs going forward for both these athletes, which I feel can reach the top. Next up, it was the Women's Championship on the line. Eva Marie defending it in a fatal four-way match. She's obviously had problems with Alexa Bliss. Bayley and Becky Lynch have had feuds with each other. They've wangled their way into this title match, and it was a decent matchup that saw Alexa Bliss defeat Bayley, Eva Marie, and Becky Lynch in 12:43 when Alexa Bliss defeated Eva Marie by pinfall. This got a very decent B-74. It gives us a new champ in Alexa Bliss. Eva Marie seemed off her game. Becky Lynch was slowed down by injury. A good performance from Alexa with 74, Bayley with an 80, and Eva Marie 69. Becky gets a 78 with her injury. I think we're going to phase Eva Marie away from active competition. We've done well, but I feel she could be very handy as a valet and as a manager, so we're going to try and use that. We'll try and bring someone else in to oppose her, and hopefully we can get a lot of women's wrestlers over to add to our very competitive women's divisions. Eva Marie does improve in technical skills, and a few negatives there. Booking decisions, because we had to protect Becky Lynch for some reason. She's not as willing to put people over in this as she is in real life. Next up, backstage, Braun Strowman and Baron Corbin bump into each other. They have a bit of a confrontation, but they don't come to blows. Corbin just warns him that championship is going to be his, and that's another A90 segment as we tease a Money in the Bank cash in. The performance of Baron Corbin was fantastic, and Braun Strowman came across well. Next up, John Cena cuts a promo hyping up his match with Roman Reigns. We have now confirmed this match is going to be loser leaves Raw, so the loser will be going to SmackDown. Cena's confident that he's going to get rid of Roman Reigns, and he's going to make sure that he becomes the 17-time record-breaking world champion. So an A100 there, A-star 100. Cena came across well, and that is with not suited to his gimmick, and segment gained heat, so that's good to see. And basically, I made an ass of that. Sorry, the matchup is going to be between Cena and Reigns for Loser Leaves Raw. It's going to be on SummerSlam. This is what happens when you book and you leave all the notes in Notepad, what you're going to do in the future. So that match is going to be coming up. What actually happens here is this was a 6-man match, with the winner becoming the #1 contender to face the winner of the main event, or Baron Corbin, at SummerSlam. And in a shock win, it was about that had superb wrestling and great heat, and it saw Cesaro defeat Roman Reigns, Dolph Ziggler, Kevin Owens, John Cena and The Miz in 22:30, when Cesaro defeated The Miz by pinfall with a neutralizer, following a distraction from Daniel Bryan. So Cesaro is going to SummerSlam for the challenge for the championship, and it's going to be an interesting one here to see how that takes place. So we've got that matchup booked in. Cena's going to face Roman Reigns. That's going to be loser leaves Raw, so the loser of that will go to SmackDown after that matchup. But John Cena not suited to his gimmick now as Daniel Bryan. We'll fix that down the line. Cesaro win 90, Reigns win 97, Ziggler with a 90, Owens with a 92. It's 87 for the Cena and a 94 for the Miz. So disappointing that only was B80. Both storylines advancing, gaining heat. Ziggler improving Rumble skills. And I think it's the low heat on those storylines, plus the booking decision that's hurt it. I don't know why a lot of storylines are getting low heat. It's quite frustrating, but it's something I need to work on as a booker. Maybe dedicate more angles and Raws and SmackDowns to the storylines. After this, Cesaro celebrates. The crowd goes wild. The Cesaro section holds up their re-signs, and that's an A93. We then have, while this is happening, The Miz is angry and decides to beat down Daniel Bryan as revenge for Bryan costing him the match. This got an A92 and continued the storyline between Daniel Bryan and The Miz. And The Miz then says, "Enough is enough. You're interfering in my matches. I want to just end you from WWE for once and for all. I want to face you in a match at SummerSlam." So Daniel Bryan has been challenged by The Miz in a B+87 match. I can confirm I've edited Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan will be back as a full-time competitor, with his first matchup going to be against The Miz at SummerSlam. So far, got those matches booked in. So that's in continued the storyline and gained some heat with that, so we've actually put a lot of the storyline onto this episode. Next up, our main event is about to take place. Seth Rollins hypes the upcoming match with Braun Strowman. That's an A-star 100 for our main event, and it continues the storyline and gains it some heat. Will the match itself succeed? It didn't. Oh, it's a shame, because the last time these two had an absolute classic between them. But it was about they had sensational wrestling and fantastic heat, and it saw Braun Strowman defeat Seth Rollins in 24-21 by pinfall, with a big splash following interference from Baron Corbin. Braun Strowman makes the second defence of his championship title. A BAA, these guys have had a 90 odd before, 92 I think it was, match up between them. So very disappointed this went B80. I mean, this might be down to the low heat of the storyline, because both men have good chemistry together. It lifted the match, and Rollins did a 99 performance to Braun's 98, and it continues their storyline and gained it some heat. Let's look at the dirt sheet. Yep, so the lack of hot associated storylines, so we needed more heat in this storyline. That's something, again, I've stressed in this video that I need to work on in the booker. I'll look to improving that to ensure we're knocking it out of the park in these instances. So that happens there. Braun is still your champ. And after the match, Baron Corbin was going to pin Braun Strowman, but Braun Strowman decides, I'm getting out of here, I'm the champ, and I'm going to retain my championship. So B plus 87, Money in the Bank isn't cashed in despite the various teases, and I feel this will be a rating that will probably maybe lose this pop just purely on the basis of a low storyline heat. But who'd have thought you'd have a segment where you have Baron Corbin and Braun Strowman both looking like a real star? I think Vince McMahon would love to see that in real life. Both are on the way. But overall, a B plus 86. Realistically, if that main event has a good storyline behind it, you're looking at a show probably getting into the 90s. So that's something I need to progress on and get better at. But overall, 45,000 fans enjoyed a pretty decent show. So I think just because of the ratings, we'll go Braun and Seth as well done, because realistically their performances were really good. So let's have a look then and see what the next day brings us. As I say, we're now on the road to the Bash for SmackDown, and then of course the SummerSlam pay-per-view. Anything here that directly affects us? Nope. Oh, The Rock got divorced. Well, that doesn't really affect us, but that's big. And Jimmy Wang Yang is a free agent and is getting good overness, so we could bring him in for the X division, or the Cruiserweight division, sorry. And just confirming we've re-signed Nigel McGuinness to a 1-year extension. So just confirming that Dwayne Johnson's divorced. Time to heel on Naito. Red Titus needs some more momentum. 3.83 for the pay-per-view buy rate. And Chad Gable agrees that Bo Dallas agrees that Chad Gable is a future star. So Bo Dallas is a locker room leader. Overall, prestige is good at 100, momentum's decent. As I say, we're just continuing on at this rate at the moment to keep the show going well. Why is Dolph unhappy? From something a while ago. Fix that after this, but I say no pressure to go global. We just want to build as many new stars as possible, and to be honest, just really continue enjoying the save. So say, just looking at our schedule, next episode will be the Bash, and then after that a big run to SummerSlam, hopefully with the 6 weeks that Raw has to build for this pay-per-view, we can get the storylines actually over. So as always guys, thank you for watching, it's deeply appreciated. If you did enjoy the episode, please leave a little thumbs up. So if you haven't already subbed, hit the sub button, and this will drop these videos in your inbox every Sunday, with the TNA videos every Tuesday and Friday. And hopefully by the time this goes live, we may have started our next series, or that might still be to be determined. But I say, thanks always for watching. Any comments are deeply appreciated. Any people you'd like to see push going forward, any surprises here, any booking decisions you don't agree with, please let me know. I say, it's a fun save that I'm just playing for my own, as I say, more enjoyment, but I say I'm more than happy to take any, suggestions for people to be pushed, etc. More than happy to see that, or any future signees. If you want to see any progress in people from NXT, let me know and I can definitely make a video for that one day. But I say, as always, thanks for watching. If you want to get involved in TW, as always, I can only stress the Grey Dog Software forums for the game and for general help and tips. And of course, any mods as well and graphics, and also the Fantasy Bookers subreddit. Great wee community there. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. Take it easy. Have a good day. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.